What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, everybody? Let's see if anybody pops on here. Or we'll see who pops on here. Um, Hope you're all doing well. Yankees are back home. They start a set against the St. Louis Cardinals next. Who I think just hit the 500 spot again. So they're working their way back up too. And Yankees have had struggles with bad teams too. So I wouldn't consider the Cardinals a bad team like I would consider the Nationals, or the White Sox. Stephen B's in the place. What's happening, my man? What is good? I'm just gonna talk about, Stephen B. And let's see who else comes on. But there's 28 games left in the season. All right, there's 78 and 56 right now. 134 game. Dev is in the building. What's good? Jennifer, hello. How are you? There's 28 games left in the season, and Chicken Pong. Yusuf, what is happening? Jake Boss, what's good, baby? All right, bonjour. Chicken Pong. Yes, we need to win this. Mike Pellegrino too. Yeah, smack that like button, everybody. If you don't mind, I want to get those likes up. We're gonna try to get to 100 likes if we possibly can. And again, 28 games left. And again, like I say, the Yankees cannot be mediocre at this point. We've had exceptional play from Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. That goes without saying. And when he gets to play, exceptionally better play from Austin Wells is too. And I do think he's probably going to get Rookie of the Year runner-up. Okay, if Colton Cowser from the Orioles wasn't playing, he'd probably have a good shot in getting Rookie of the Year. But I do think Austin Wells will get runner-up in the Rookie of the Year, which is still good because second and third place in Rookie of the Year still earns your team an international draft pick. So winning the Rookie of the Year earns your team a high draft pick. So nosebleed, what's happening? And so these things matter, okay? But again, all in all, right now, the Yankees are playing very mediocre baseball, and we need them to be better than that. With 28 games to go, we need to put them in a position to, they need to put themselves in a position to win the division, right? If they went 14-14, they would win 92 games. They have the most wins in the American League. The Dodgers are the first team to 80 wins now. They're 80. Their 80th wins last night against the Orioles, which leaves the Yankees still a game and a half up on Baltimore in the division. Joseph. Well, September 1st is Sunday. And we'll see if they actually call both players. We'll see if they actually call two players up. Right? They can move it up to 28 on the roster, and they do not have to send guys down with a corresponding move. So that's the benefit of having this roster expansion. I do wish they would have gone to. I wish they can go to 30. They used to go to 40. 40 is excessive. And wish we could go to at least 30 because I think we could still use a couple more guys, especially healthy guys. We've got some reinforcements coming back from the bullpen and then the rotation, and we need all hands on deck. And the fact of the matter is we need the rotation to be set with more stability. We need the bullpen to be set with more stability, okay? And we need more balance in the lineup. We really, really do. So, what's happening? I need 12 homers and at least 27 RBIs from who. Folk, you talking about Stanton? Who? D-Train. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I don't normally stream during the afternoon. I do when I can or something happens, but had some time and I wanted to get on here with all of you to see what you all feel, how you all feeling, what you all thinking. And be sure to hit the likes, gang. Let's get the likes. Let's try to get up to 100 likes as always. Oh, Judge, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, 12 gives him 63, right? What does 27 RBIs give him? 150? Does that give him 150? Tom, yeah. Tim, yeah. Took me a second. 63 and 1. That would be a freaking crazy year. I mean, he's still trending to win. To hit 60, so he needs to go on a little bit of a tear. but anything can happen. I do think Soto will probably hit 40, and I'd love to see Judge hit 30. I'm not sorry, Stanton hit 30. And that will be a pretty nice trio there. But again, we need more than that. We need Volpe to kind of be more consistent. We need Verdugo, whatever he has left. We need Torres, whatever he has left. I don't think either one of them is going to be back with the Yankees next year. My honest opinion, and I honestly don't think. I'm not sure DJ LeMahieu is going to make the postseason roster. And I don't know. I'm not sure if Anthony Rizzo is going to make the postseason roster. I can see them sending down Ben Rice to bring up Anthony Rizzo. But if Anthony Rizzo is not sure going to be good enough, then maybe John Birdie gets first base. Maybe Oswaldo Cabrera gets first base. Because the fact is we need to get as young as possible and as hungry as possible and as athletic as possible. We cannot be mediocre with 28 games to go. And we definitely cannot be mediocre in the postseason. Consigliere's here too. What is good, my friend? So give me your thoughts, gang. All right? Give me your thoughts on this. And again, right now it looks like Austin Wells is running for Rookie of the Year runner-up. Colton Cowser from the Orioles. He's an outfielder who's outperforming him a little bit offensively is probably going to win the Rookie of the Year. So that's what it looks like right now, but you never know. You never know. Yeah, David. I mean, they've got to sit DJ more often than not. Right at this point, we need again. I would rather them win the division than have him in the wild card. I honestly would. They'll get better playoff bracket, better playoff, odds if winning the division than they would playing the freaking wild card. Murderer's Row. Yeah, I mean, I hope not. And this is why I've said this like a couple months ago. We can't have Torres and DJ in the lineup at the same time right now. We just can't. We can't. So, and it's, the Yankees do have some guys here too. I mean, they've got Cam Eden, who they got from Toronto. They've got Duke Ellis, who they've got off waivers last week. They've got some speedy guys who could be potential base running late inning weapons for the Yankees. Maybe they'll try them in September. To see if anything will pan out, to see if one of them could be a Homer Bush for them in the postseason. I don't know yet. The roster does come back down to 26 after September. It goes up to 28 only in September for the rest of the season. So, let me stagnant. Yeah, well, we can't exactly, Jack. And it's just that I talked about this yesterday too. And if you haven't seen my video, go take a look at it. I talked about this new 6 innings pitch minimum being proposed right now by MLB. I don't know if it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna pass. I'm not really sure if I like that because there's so many things that have to be adjusted. I mean, you're gonna have to. I mean, if you want them to go 6 innings, you're gonna have to move the pitch clock back to probably 30 seconds, right? To give these guys more. Because the fact of the matter is, right now we don't have a ton of guys who average 6 runs in every game. We just don't. Right? Wells. I could see Wells transition to first base. And I said, look, the fact that I would not hesitate to put him in the first base now. He's an upgrade over DJ. He's an upgrade over whoever we have. And we have to see what we get from Rizzo. He's hitting better than Ben Rice right now, even though Ben Rice has been denied of a lot of playing time right now in favor of DJ, which is not a move that's working out. So I would be putting Ben Rice in there more often now. Okay, but at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is too, we need whatever with the best pieces, the best players in there right now to maximize our chances of winning as many games as possible before the postseason. Right? It just has to be. Wells was a catcher / first baseman, Tim, in college. It's one of the reasons they drafted him because he was Tommy Pham. No. And Tommy Pham would block Jason Dominguez, and he's not better than Dominguez either. So I would just wait to bring Dominguez up here. I mean, I'm not sure he would be a fit here, Pham. I don't know. Spencer Jones is a guy that I hope they give a consideration for first base. And again, like I said, this elite defensive catchers transition well to first base. Elite defensive outfielders transition well to first base. So Yankees have both right now with Wells and Spencer Jones. So Schmidt or Protein, I think both of them are in AAA right now. Now Schmidt just got bumped to AAA. So did Lou Trevino. I think Schmidt's going to get one more rehab start in AAA before he comes up. So I don't see him against the Cardinals, but maybe after that. But we'll see. We'll see. Clemens is here. Clemens. Well, that's the thing too, Nosebleed. Yeah, pitchers don't need to. Yeah, we need to be more strike throwing. And again, like the argument with this 6 inning minimum too, and I'd love to know what your thoughts are, folks. Is you know right now the pitchers are basically trained to throw hard from day one, from pitch one, right? And even pitchers that don't throw super hard, right? So then I love watching Garrett Cole. I love watching Paul Skeens, but I also love watching Andy Pettit and guys like Greg Maddux outsmart their opponents with location and dialing back when they need to dial back. And that's to me a better recipe for a 6 innings pitch minimum requirement. So I don't think I'm not sure if I don't think it's going to pass. So uh, well, that's why I said if Jose Trevino is going to catch if you're on days you want him to catch, and I understand you're going to catch him 1 or 2 days a week, that's fine. And I wouldn't hesitate to move Trevino. I wouldn't hesitate to move Wells to first base to keep his bat in the lineup while Trevino's catching. I get that. So yeah, you got to give him a break to Austin Wells, and you know he does need a break on occasion, and you can still play him though, first base. If postseason started Monday, Tim, it'd probably be Cole, Cortez, Schmidt, even though he hasn't been back up here yet, and probably Rodon because he's got more wins. I mean, more wins, but if he's not in there and Stroman is, then I would put Rodon in the bullpen in long relief. Any starter that's not going to make the rotation postseason, I'm going to have him in the bullpen in long relief. So Luis Hill's throwing some rehab stuff right now with Jennifer. So it sounds like he's on his way back, but I wouldn't expect him back for probably another week at least. Who do I? UNF trying. Who do I pick to be in the fourth spot for Yankees playoff roster spot? What do you mean fourth spot, Brandon? You mean the rotation? What do you mean fourth spot? I want to make sure I know what you're talking about. I want to make sure I understand what you're asking me, Brandon, so I can answer it well. Yeah, exactly. It is a two-man job, J. Palvis. It is. Even Jorge Posada had Francisco Cervelli. He had guys backing him up. So yeah, Rodon. Yeah, and it's crazy because you got a guy he's got 14 wins and he gets rattled, but I don't know. I mean, but I like Stroman's fortitude in big games too. So to me seems to be he will get less rattled than Rodon. But Rodon, when he shoves really hard. So I don't know. I don't know. And this is one of the problems, I think, right now. This is why we need guys like Poteet to come back and Schmidt to come back because we need as many long relief guys as possible because they serve as that security blanket from the rotation to the short inning guys at the end of the game, right? No. But yeah, we need young starting pitching. Yeah. I mean, we'll see if we get Scooble this offseason, Jack. It would be nice if we did. Jace Peters from St. Louis and repping the Yankees, baby. Consigliere, thank you so much, my friend. That's Tom Hagen. That's the Tom Hagen of the 161 right there. The Consigliere. Gifted 5 memberships. And let's all thank the Consigliere here. Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate you. What are you folks thinking about this? Who would be your rotation? And what do you think about the 6-inning minimum that's being proposed right now? And there's still a lot of things that have to happen. But the fact is, too, the pitchers are facing much better hitters, better athletes, so they're gonna have to do some things. They have to do some things. The Robert Duvall, exactly, Jack. That's him. That's him. I think so too, Clemenza. He benefits from the club. Yeah, Stroman He just shoves. He doesn't care, right? And I like that about him. It's just like Jazz has that unflappable kind of mentality too. So Bush, yeah, Tim. I think a lot of people want us to push for Corbin Burns. Him or trade for Tarek Skubal. But Corbin Burns would just cost money. You don't have to trade anybody for him. So that makes him an appealing option too. Stroman or Cortez for the four. Right now, it's probably Cortez, Brandon, because he's been given more length than Stroman. Probably. But I mean, I wouldn't. I think some of this depends on how well Schmidt comes back. Then it makes it a little less unpleasant of a decision to make. David Ray's got his 40-25 lineup right here. What do we got? Volpe at short. We got Soto and Bright. We got Judge in center. Dominguez in left. Stanton at the DH. Wells at the dish. Chisholm at second. Jones at first. Peraza at third. I like that you have Chisholm at second. I love that you have Jones at first. It's the best. I mean, it's the easiest way to get Jones and Dominguez in the lineup at the same time. And I think Chisholm would be, better at second. He was a plus defender at second. He's having to adjust to third right now. He's never played before. And I know I appreciate his willingness to do that, but I think he would be suited better at second. I like it, David. I like where your lineup's at, my man. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on Jake Boss. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It really depends on Schmidt and how well he performs and how well he rebounds here. It really does. Yeah. And Hill, yeah, I don't know with Hill yet. I would have him in long relief, not closer. I would have him in long relief to throw multiple innings of darts in the bullpen. That's what I'd like to have him do. At least in this postseason. Glaber's lifetime film. Is it really? I know Jazz is a plus defender at second. I don't know where he is in the outfield now. Bring the starter in the third innings. Maybe he can hit 6 innings in the eighth. Like a play. That'd be interesting. That's one of the things that, like in this proposal, they're basically trying to eliminate bullpenning or openers or whatever you call it. So it's there's too many things that need to happen, right? I can't see anything. 6 replying would kill Yankees with the way that they're starting pitching history. Yeah, well, exactly. More pitching. Exactly. You need to learn how to be more economical. Like, I understand if you throw 6 innings and have 75 pitches, like guys like Greg Maddux used to do. Well, he used to throw complete games with 80. It's different than throwing 110 pitches in 6 innings, which pitchers do. So that's 40 more freaking pitches. So how economical can you be? Well, exactly, Billy. That's Clemenza. That exactly. What if he gets pounded in the first? Like, because there was also talk about, this that if he doesn't last, if he comes out before the 6th, then that team would lose his DH at the time, or would have to bring in someone else as the DH. Like, that's good. I mean, it's punitive in that regard. So I'm not exactly sure I like that either. So I will, yeah. I'm not as worried about the Astros as much as you think we are, Willard. You're not making us worry. So, but yeah, they could be good. And I'm not scared of Josh Hader. I would expand to 20 all the time too, Joseph. Yep. Yeah, well, exactly, Jay Palvis. I mean, I could see them implementing something like this with all kinds of sloppy caveats and all that stuff. I just can't see it happening. You know? Yeah, nosebleed with some exceptions too would be nice. But that's like to Billy's point too, Clemenza's point. Like you throw 100, you give up 10 runs in the first, you have to stay there the other 5 innings just to get that quota? What if you give up like 18 runs? I mean, it could happen. It has happened. Now, how many Anthony Youngs are we gonna have? It's crazy. It's crazy. But back to the Yankees, like they have to start clicking on all cylinders. They've got to play cleaner baseball, especially in the infield. Yeah, yeah. Jordan hit three bombs the other day off the Phillies, but he does have struggle with the high fastball. Yeah, we'll see who makes it to the LCS. Will I don't know. We'll see. Interesting fielding percentage. Niagara Falls. Let's see your cards. Oh, nice. Shout out to Niagara Falls. All right. What a great place. Lou, according to the article, the purpose of 6 innings pitchers to keep them off out of the operating room and more on the mound, which is kind of contradictory to what's happening now. And it's also to restore the prestige of the starting pitching position. Which is just like the first thing I'd be looking at is, why the hell there's so many injuries now? So many pitchers, and you want them to do more and expect them to get hurt less? That's kind of weird. I don't know how that makes sense. I really don't. Oh. Yeah, this is when the marathon turns. We have 28 games left. The sprint starts when the postseason is here. Everybody's 0-0, and the last team standing has to win 11 games, and that's it. Yep. Yep. This is it. Yeah, it's crazy, though. It is crazy, though. It is crazy. Like you have, I know there's an obsession with guys that throw hard because we get all the time in the comments, right? We need strikeout guys and lights out guys. Not everybody that throws hard, super hard, are strikeout guys. I mean, look at Aroldis Chapman. He throws 105 into his mid 30s. He's the only guy that does that with regularity. And look how much trouble he had with the Yankees. He also doesn't pitch every day, so he doesn't have to throw multiple innings, but he can still do it. Like, so can Mason Miller get close, but he's had shoulder problems already and UCL problems. So these guys are few and far between. But these folks they're talking about starting pitchers. And again, what starting pitcher throws that hard for that long and lasts that often? There's so much hype surrounding this guy, Roki Sasaki, right? He's only pitched 100 innings once in his career. Once. So I don't see the hype. People keep telling me, "Oh, he throws hard." Who cares? We have guys in the majors that throw harder than him. Look at Yamamoto. Everybody thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Look at all the Yamamoto hype we got. That BS. He's been on DL and he's been on IL for almost 3 months now. There is a transition from Japan too. Tommy Pham would block Dominguez, Joseph. So I don't particularly think it would be a good fit here. Yeah. Yeah. Sasaki might be, yeah, but he's gonna want to get paid like a starter, no doubt about that, Jack. Which is why I don't think he's gonna get posted this year. Yeah, exactly, Commends. Remember that? Everyone was dying. We go to this Yamamoto BS all the time, right? It's just we put out videos about Shota Imanaga. They said here's an alternative to Yamamoto in case that doesn't work out. Multiple videos, and people thought we were crazy. And Imanaga's turning out to be better than Yamamoto in the majors. So that's why I don't join the hype train all the time. Yeah. I don't know about the Mets having less talent. They have a star-studded roster over there too. Boy, and then the Royals are in a weaker division, much weaker division. But the Royals are good. Or their roster is not as deep as the Yankees. That's right, dude. That is true. Could have been Minnesota. Yeah, I would have taken that. Yeah. Well, I don't know about Luis Robert now because he would block Dominguez. You'd have to give up Dominguez for him. Minimum. Minimum. Um, Crochet, maybe by Crochet, he hurt himself. He hurt himself, Joseph. Like, what his comments? Like, he hurt himself, his marketability, he hurt his agent, he hurt his team. He's like, what a moron to make those comments. I would personally, I would go after Scooble instead of Crochet. I would. And we'll see if they do. We'll honestly, we'll see if they do. Christy Mathewson. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, like Dennis, this is a good point too. Like, there's a couple of pitchers, right? And I'm going to point that one, Justin Verlander from the Astros. He starts out throwing 91, 92, and he finishes throwing 97, 98. He gets better as the game goes on, you know? And that's for Willard, the Astros fan. It's like Fergie Jenkins. These guys, and he would get hit in the beginning, and then he would get better as the game went on. There's not a lot of guys like that, but they are out there, and he does save his best. That's why he also has multiple no hitters too, Justin Verlander. And he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. They don't put him in the first ballot; they're crazy, absolutely nuts. Well, I think we make the playoffs too. We have in order to get a championship, we need Deed, we need Glaber. Look, the guys that are in there, we need them to hit. I don't know who the guy. I don't even know if they think they know the guys that are going to be in there yet. But the guys that are in there need to freaking hit with regularity. Right? Yeah, and Managa's pretty solid this year. 10-3 with a 308. That's a pretty good rookie season transitioning from Japan. Yep. Willard, I don't disagree at all. Shohei Ohtani, like, that situation just stinks to high hell. I think they're covering for him. I really do. Let his guy go. He's already there. He's already skirting the system there in a very clever way economically. So making $2 million a year in the 10 years that he's playing, and then $68 million in the 10 years that he's not playing. So when he's not playing, he's not going to be employed by the state of California, so he won't be subject to state tax. He'll probably be living in Japan. He won't be subject to federal tax. So it's really slick the way they have it lined up for Shohei Ohtani. But I do think the whole situation stinks. I do think that people are covering for him. I do think that he should have been popped for gambling. Yeah. And those are the types of guys you need to make an example of. You made an example of Pete Rose for like 40 years now. He's one of the greatest hitters ever, Pete Rose. He should be in the damn Hall of Fame. Well, yeah, and that's the other thing too, Scuba. I mean, they're going to wind up probably having to go for Corbin Burns because we don't. You're right about that, Dennis. We don't know if Scuba's going to get traded. We don't know that. Yeah. Walker Bueller. He's coming off some injuries, but he might be worth a flyer. Uptown Sports. There he is. My man's back in action. What's good, brother? What is good? Good to see you on here, man. Right. My condolences, by the way, bro. Really. My deepest sympathies. The Yankees are always trying to be. Well, the boy, I mean, there are points that Hal talks about that other people don't want to talk about, don't want to hear. Like Hal says, yeah, one of the things he does, stress frustration about the high payroll, but also because he has to give they give $150 million a year in revenue sharing to teams that don't spend it on players. So Had they not had to do that, I don't think he would be talking about complaining about payroll. Probably have a higher payroll. But they're just giving money away to teams to pocket it. That's not fair. Well, if we fail this year, we do a said Cashman going after signing Soto. Yeah, he would have to. Yeah. Um, First base is still tough. I know the fact of the matter is too, like first base right now, we don't know if Rizzo is going to be the answer when he comes back from rehab. We don't, and like Ben Rice has fallen off a cliff, but then they've also, not really given him much rope to climb back up either. Not playing a lot with DJ here, and they got to make a decision, second base, right? And he might be DJ might have to be off the postseason roster. Rizzo might have to be off the postseason roster, right? These are the decisions they're going to have to make. And at the end of the day, they need the youngest, most athletic team. They got two speedy guys over the last month. They might want to use one of them as a late inning base stealing threat, like a Homer Bush. We have no idea yet. We have no idea what they're going to do. No. Yeah, Pete Rose got banned for betting. The DH, the DH is above the rules. Apparently. Yeah, apparently he is. Oh. Yeah, Goldschmidt's also much older too, Joseph. I would just give TJ Rumfield. If we wanted to stay in house, probably TJ Rumfield. Yeah, if something else is not in the works, which we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, he might get a posthumous. Yeah, you might be right. When he moves on to the next life, Jack, that's when they put peace in it. Which is, I don't think. I mean, I would put him in there while he's alive. Let him, honor the man for what he did as a player. Really, man. Oh, my man. Look at that. My man. Heck, the Morning Brew in Cincinnati, presenting an award to Ellie De La Cruz on behalf of Latina. That is fantastic, brother. Much love to you. Shout out to you for your hard work. You deserve these recognitions too, man. I love having you present it to these guys because you connect so well with the players. So, shout out, brother. Shout out, brother. Yeah, David Ortiz did test positive and he went to the Hall of Fame. He was also beloved by reporters, and he knew how to carry the crowd. He knew how to work the crowd. He knew how to work the report. He knew how to work everybody. And that's one of the things that he had that guys like Barry Bonds did not have. Barry Bonds was known as a dick to everybody. David Ortiz was one of the most outgoing players, and that apparently mattered to the Hall of Fame voters. But he did get popped. But look at Manny Ramirez. He got popped multiple times. Not in. A-Rod got popped. He was also known as a dick. Not in. And their stats are more robust than David Ortiz's. Clemens, another one. And he never failed to test Clemens. Never. And he won every lawsuit against him in Congress and everything else. Still not in. Yeah. McGuire, I don't disagree. McGuire should be in there too. No. Yeah. Trying to catch up to the chat here. Yeah. Well, exactly. Well, yeah. What the hell is? Why is Pete Rose completely forever shunned? McGuire and Sosa, yeah, they definitely did, Lou. They saved the games, no doubt about that. But he's also out on issues besides gambling too, yeah. But the main culprit was gambling as a manager. And they know. Pete Rose was not the cash cow to baseball that Shohei Ohtani is. Ohtani's a cash cow. And they would not, if they made an example of Ohtani and he couldn't play anymore, they would lose their cash cow. So money's talking, I think, here. And I do think they're covering up for Ohtani. It stinks to high hell, and I hate it, but what are you going to do? And he's not cheating. He's not popping steroids for him, so gambling's a different story. At least he's not juicing. Yeah. Sammy Sosa got Kuzers in Corp out. Yes, he did, Kosa. Sosa juiced, yep. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Andrew Stennery was in McGuire. Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, so this is a good point too, Ralph. Andrew Stennery was in McGuire. Helped you recover better from workouts and things like that. Sped up the recovery process. It was legal at the time when McGuire tested positive for it, but they made an example of him, and now it's not legal. Just crazy. No idea, Willard. At this point, yeah, I mean '94. I mean, I thought it was going to be the Yankees Expos World Series that year. Really, I thought it was going to be Yankee. I would. I mean, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. No. Yeah, I don't know about. I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory, Dennis. His story changed. His own story out of his own mouth changed each day. So I'm not sure if it's a conspiracy theory. But Rosie, exactly. Rose was not a. I mean, he got banned as a manager for gambling. And again, Dennis, he's the cash cow for MLB. Otani. Pete Rose was not when he got popped. They're protecting their cash cow. But I don't buy it. I don't the. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. His own. He changed his own story. So it stinks to high hell. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you, Lou. But it is what it is, right? Fact of the matter is, the Yankees need to be better. 28 games left into the regular season. They cannot be mediocre. They've got to play better. They've got to set themselves up, and they've got to be ready for whatever's coming in your way in the postseason. Okay. You get a 6-day steroid. Depends on what it is, Joseph. If it's a banned substance, then that's one thing. If it's not a banned substance, then it's no. It's they look up whatever substance is on the ban. It's just like track and field. There's so many things. There are guys that take medication for ADD, and something in is banned, and those guys will get banned for a year or two. It's happened. Justin Gatlin, Olympic champion, 100 meters, he got banned for taking ADD medication, attention deficit disorder. It had a substance in it that was banned, which was not anabolic in nature or performance enhancing, but it was banned. Uh, yeah, well, exactly. I mean, I honestly think, I still think that Theo Epstein's probably being groomed to be the next commissioner of baseball, and he's beloved in the baseball community. Rob Manfred is universally hated, and his contract ends. He's not renewing it. They're not renewing it, so he's up shortly. I think it was in 2 years. Rob Manfred, so he's up shortly. Yeah, well, it's the Otani story stinks, man. But thank God it's not a Yankee. He wasn't a Yankee when it happened. Could you imagine that? People would be going crazy. Yeah. Pedro Expo said he wanted to be traded to the Yankees twice and said he was traded to the Red Sox. Yeah. He was teammates with Randy Johnson. Could you imagine prime Randy and prime Pedro on the same team together? Oh my God. Like Diamondbacks, Randy with Red Sox Pedro. That would have been the most fearsome one, too. I can never think about baseball history. That would be crazy, Ralph. Freaking nuts. It would have been nice if we had Pedro. It would have been really nice. So, yeah, we need Hamilton, Schmidt, Martian. You got Scotty Frost coming back, Lou Trevino, John Birdie. There are some significant folks coming back. And keep in mind, all the roster moves that have to be made with these guys are 26-man roster moves, not 40. Obviously, if they're not on the 40, they need to be put on the 40 and then transferred to the 26, which is another move. But it's going to be interesting to see. And I don't think all these guys are going to make it back to the 26, but I do think at least maybe 3 or 4 of them will. You know, and thankfully they have these 2 roster expansion moves for like Dominguez and whoever else, so they can kind of ease these guys back in without having to make a monster amount of corresponding moves. I don't even know how many. Like, who the hell are you going to move? on the roster to bring in some of these guys. I mean, tough decisions. It's going to be really tough decisions. Yeah, because imagine if we had Prime, Pedro, Randy Johnson, Clemens, Wells, and Pettit. CB, it would be like, oh my God. That rotation would be complete craziness. Oh. DFAs, I mean, maybe DFAs are options. I mean, I could see, I mean, I don't know if Birdie comes back and he plays well, they may option Oswaldo Cabrera, because he has an option left. No. Yeah. Yeah. Pedro's probably the most dominant right-handed pitcher of this generation. And this guy, I mean, he was like 150 pounds soaking wet. Clemens was a Hulk, right? Pedro was like it's like 150, but he acted like he was 250 pounds. It was like Bob Gibson on the mound, but oil can Boyd in the uniform. So it's crazy. Nick Birdie, I don't know, Joseph. I'm not sure. Oh my God, if that's true, Ralph. Though they didn't want to give Ricky Leday, Juan Rivera, and Ramiro Mendoza for any job. Oh God. Could you imagine having Prime Randy Johnson here? I think it would be good as a multiple inning guy. I would probably avoid being at the closer because he does sometimes struggle in the first inning, Luis Hill. But a multiple inning guy, I think it would be fantastic. CT Cards is here. How you doing, my friend? Yeah. Who do you, all right? Who do you want the two roster expansion moves to be, and who do you think they will be? And are they the same? Put them in the comments. Love to know what your thoughts are here, gang. And this happens. I mean, the roster expands Sunday. Will they? That doesn't mean they're going to make these moves on Sunday either. They could wait for all we know. Right? Oh yeah. Judge will face anybody, Willard. He would face anybody. Dominguez and Warren. Okay. Well, Warren's already up, Sean. So Warren would have to go down most likely to for Schmidt to come back up. No. I do think if a starting pitcher comes back, excuse me, it's going to be Clark Schmidt. I do think it will be Clark Schmidt. Chase Hampton. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, fans are salivating over Jason Dominguez. They're absolutely salivating. Boy. Yeah. You know what's crazy? Like Spencer Jones, the Yankees' other uber prospect, he in the last 22 games, he's on an absolute tear. He's batting like 320. He has like a 4+ slugging. He's an OPS like 950. 3 homers, 19 ribbies, 11 extra base hits. He's cut down his strikeouts by about 7%, and his walk rate has gone up. He's on freaking fire right now, Spencer Jones, which is exactly what we need to see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious. But I know, I mean, like, the fans would be rioting in the streets probably. Probably try to burn the stadium down if they don't bring up Dominguez, or if they do bring him up and they don't play him. Fans are going to be pissed. Yeah. Nah, I don't think Judge would be worried. I don't think Judge would. I mean, Randy Johnson was an imposing figure. He had a nasty, nasty slider from 6'11", coming from a completely different angle and different height. But I don't think Judge would be sat for anybody. Yeah, bring him on. Yeah, exactly. Dominguez, yeah, constantly. I mean, like, it's going to be what it's going to be, right? This is why I don't do the hype train stuff. Saying this one play is the answer to everybody. Like people, got so much of this stuff. Like Luis Rengifo solves all the Yankees' problems. He's not even playing. He's done for the year. Like, there wasn't one player that's going to solve all the Yankees' problems. This is a multiple player issue, right? Just like Dominguez is not enough. Spencer Jones is not enough. Like it's they've got to make multiple moves. Unfortunately, thankfully they brought in Jazz, but they still need another dynamic bat to go with Jazz, and as well as needing Volpe to come back to being Volpe and needing Verdugo to start hitting again. Yeah. I mean, Dominguez would learn a lot from Soto and Judge. He would. He definitely would. Stroman's on the hill tonight. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they got. But it'd be nice to see, there was some guys that, like Brendan Donovan, who I liked. I wish the Yankees would have tried to trade for it. They never got it. I'd like to see him play. He's going to be kind of cool. Well, we got Sonny Gray. Who else? They have Lance Lynn. A couple other dudes. But I do think the Yankees have a shot at winning 2 out of 3 of these games. I do, so. I do. And what are the Cardinals? A 500 team now? Let's pull up their record here. The Cardinals standings, American League, National League here. NL, St. Louis. Yeah, 67 and 67. 500 right on the button. Yeah, LaGrange and Lane. That's what we're hearing too, Ralph. We'll see. They got to keep progressing. The sizes do much if they're not, maximizing the skill set. That's one reason it's taking Spencer Jones so long to kind of, they repositioned his hands, but he's also 6'7", he's a giant, like Judges. It's going to take him longer to get used to his new stance and his new positioning and stuff like this. It's a much bigger body to work with. His more moving parts. So, but he's still his talent is undeniable. His ceiling is so freaking high, right? Mason Wynn. Yeah, there's a lot of fun players to watch. There really, really is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of fun players. Where does Birdie play? I'm guessing. Well, it's the thing. He could play third and move Jazz second. He could play first. He plays multiple positions. He plays every infield position but shortstop. So, and again, he could be. You could have Torres on the pine. You could also have Rizzo on the pine if he's not producing. Rice on the pine if he's not producing. So you could play Birdie. He's one of the fastest players in baseball. So you definitely want to get him in there. Yeah. Well, yeah, Martian does have good plate discipline. He sees a lot of pitches, draws a lot of walks. He's essentially a young version of Juan Soto. The lineup? No, not yet. They play tonight, don't they, CT? What time do they play tonight? Let's see. Yankees got St. Louis, 7:05. Now, the lineup won't come out until probably 3 or 4 o'clock. Usually about 3 hours before the game lineup comes out, CT. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what they do when Dominguez comes back. Where in the lineup he gets played. No doubt, Joseph. No doubt. We'll be here for the live. Hopefully, recapping a win. I wanted to get your take on this. We'd like the Yankees can't be mediocre. Like, put on our thinking caps. I wanted to see what you were thinking about the 6 inning minimum rule, which is just came out recently, and I want to see what else was what you're all hearing out there too. Has anybody heard anything else? Not really hearing much right now. No, but I do think it would be best for the Yankees to win the division. If we went 28 the rest of the way, that'd be fantastic. We win 98 games. That would be awesome. You know, they're only four wins away from tying last year's win total. They were 82 and 80 last year, and I do think they'll exceed that by at least 10 games. So, Ralph, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's the. It's not affecting their breathing or anything like that. It's not. I like the road uniforms. I really, really do. Uh, I don't think it'll. It's not going to cause any harmful effects or anything like that. As far as I know. But I get it. I get the argument, Ralph. Yep, I get it. But yeah, I like the road uniforms more than I like the home uniforms. I like the old school road uniforms. They're just more. They're just more old school. I mean, I like that they got rid of the white stripe and they just kept it like OG again, which is kind of nice. Yeah, you can definitely see Carlos Rodon. He's a sweat hog. Ian Hamilton's another sweat hog. These guys sweat like crazy. Watch Ian Hamilton when he comes back and he pitches. He is like dripping like a Roldis Chapman style. Another guy, Roldis Chapman, he is a sweat monster. My God. It's like he ran 10 miles before the game started. Yep. Yeah. We got a lot of DFA DJ in here. I get it. I get it. Not surprised. I'm really not surprised. I mean, he hasn't really done much right now, so it's unfortunate but true. 3D effect? I didn't notice that. I like a more traditional uniform, so I'm a fan of the old ones. Ralph, that's cool that you're a fan of the more recent ones. That's cool too. I'm sure I mean, I'm sure there's a balance between two. Some fans wanted the white stripes, some fans wanted without it. So I'm one of the ones who wanted it without it. 2 out of 3 the rest of the way gives them 96. That'd be nice. And I do think look, they were a game and a half up on Baltimore, right? Um, if they win the division, they win the division. They get a better seed in the postseason instead of having to go to the damn wild card. Having to play an extra game or two. Yeah, me too, CT. I like the old school too. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, 2 out of 3. I like that. I like the 18-9 number, John. That 18-9 number sounds kind of nice. It was 98 and 64. Ken, what do you know, my man? What do you know? Huh? What's up? Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean the DJ DFA. I think he'll be more useful as a bench piece. I agree. Maybe they'll DFA him with a year ago, and I don't think they're gonna do it 2 years ago. And I know people use the Aaron Hill. What about the DFA guy with Aaron Hicks? Aaron Hicks was also a trouble. He was a problem here. And DJ's not. I mean, he's a leader. He's a great teammate. He's a pro. He's friends with a lot of the players. So he's more popular in the clubhouse than Hicks was. Well, that's true too. I mean, would I start him? No, Bench pieces is more. He'd be more representative and I think productive as a bench piece. Yeah, more small ball. And this is I think reason why they got in these two fast guys over the last month, Cam Eden and Duke Ellis. You might see one of them in the postseason as a late inning base stealer, base running guy. But we need, like, and I said, I'm not going to continue to say this. Like Soto and Judge at 2 and 3, I don't have an issue with that at all. I'm worried about the 1, the 4, and the 5. Who's going to be setting them up and who's going to protect them on the back end? This is where we need to be on point. Right? Well, go get them, Council. You got to go do your thing, brother. And I'll wrap this up in a minute, too. But this is good, fruitful discussion. I like to see what you guys and gals are thinking. Hit the like button, gang. Let's try to get to 100 likes if we can. They're always helpful in these live streams. And I have no idea how many likes we have anyway. So, but I can't see them in this software. 19 and 8. I'll take that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 18 and 9. Well, what is that? That leaves us a game short. So can we do 19 and 9? They have 28 games left. 72 likes. All right, we're 28 from 100. All right, Steve B, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Again, whenever I have time in the afternoon to go live and hang out with you guys and gals, I'd love to do it. Did I read the postseason roster by Chris Kirschner? I did not, Ken. Well, what's his postseason roster? Well, what's he have? What's he thinking? Yeah, and I don't have an athletic subscription, so anytime I open up something athletic, you gotta get a subscription. So I don't have one. But what's he saying? What's he telling us, Ken? And I had Chris Kirschner. I had Chris Kirschner on here before. Had him on the channel as a guest interview. And he was a good interview, like when he was first joined the Athletic. So I'll try to get him back on here. We'll see, spiritual. I mean, I'll even take halfway between 14 and 14 and 18 and 19 and 9 or whatever. I'll take 17 and 11, which would give us 95 wins. I actually predicted him in 95 wins at the beginning of the season. So that would be right in line with my prediction. Which would be kind of cool. So, but we'll see. But yeah, what do we got, Ken? What did Kirshner tell us about the postseason roster? I mean, without reading anything he said, I do think DJ should be off it. Will he be off it? I don't know. He's got Stroman, DJ, Rice, and Verdugo off the roster. Wow. Stroman too? He has him off the ALDS roster. He could be back on the ALCS roster. So I know it's something you had mentioned too. Each round you can make adjustments to the roster. DJ Rice I could see. So does he have John Birdie? Or does he have, I guess he has Rizzo there. Verdugo off the roster, so he's got Dominguez on the roster. Dominguez and Grisham. That's pretty ballsy. Pretty ballsy. Did Kirshner say who he has us playing in the first round in the LDS? Huh. I could see Rice off. I could see DJ off. Damn. That's definitely bold, Ken. That's definitely bold. Rizzo, Dominguez, and Birdie. Okay. Kind of what I was thinking too. If Rizzo, proves to be up for the task, if he's producing. But the fact is, like I said too, if he doesn't produce and Rice doesn't produce and DJ doesn't produce, then all three of them need to be off the roster. And at that point, I would play Birdie at first base and bring up somebody like TJ Rumfield or something like that. That's what I would do. But Rizzo, Dominguez, and Birdie, yeah. Cole, Hill, Rodon, and Cortez. I could see that too. I mean, I think this would help. Like Nathaniel's point, too. So have to have faith. Like we need them to be much better than mediocre in these next 28 games. We need to, restore the faith in a lot of the fans. And like we need the Yankees to do that. We definitely need the Yankees to do that. You know, but I ride or die with them right to the very end. So I don't do no fair weather stuff ever. Cole Rodon, Hill Schmidt. Okay. All right. Like that too. You have Cortez in long relief in that regard, Sean. So we'll see if we have it in them, Nathaniel. I mean, I'm really. This is why. I mean, we need them to play a hell of a lot better these next couple of weeks. We need them to maximize the guys that are coming back too, because they need to see who are they going to put in the freaking bullpen. So Ken's got high leverage: Schmidt, Weaver, Cousins, and Hamilton. Yeah, that's pretty much right there. Yeah, exactly, Ken. Cortez, long relief, piggyback. Yep, Sean. Yep. I would have Cortez long relief too. I'd want a lefty in there who can throw multiple innings. I really would. 9 games up in the wild card. So there's that. Yeah, I'd rather win the division, Nathaniel. But yeah, yeah. If I had to pick who would he bring, right now would be the Manning would be the Martian because Jones hasn't even played in AAA yet, and I think a good small amount of time in AAA would be good for him. This is only Jones' second year in the system. This is the Martian's fifth year in the system. So right now it'll be Martian, but I want Jones to be up here at some point in 2025. But I do think some time at AAA so he can continue to work on his development would be a good thing. Let him work on some of these other things. Carson has us in the division. Okay. He has us in the division series. So he has us winning the division. All right. I'll take that, Ken. Yeah. Yeah, Nathaniel. I'm always trying to be calm and positive. I know it pisses off a lot of people. I get a lot of heat for not trashing people. People tell me in the comments all the time, you want to be credible, you want to go to Sean, you got to trash people. Well, I don't. Honestly, I could see Jones up here in 2025. When in 25, I don't know. You got E. Frost, Nick Birdie, Tommy Canley, and Tim Hill as middle relievers. Okay. So no Tim Mesa. Yankees, Guardians, ALC. I mean, somebody eliminates the Astros. The Guardians eliminate the Astros. Holmes is closer. Yeah, I think. Yeah. And honestly, Ken, like, situationally speaking, I have no problem bringing in Holmes if the game is tied or if their lead is more than one game. If they have a one-run lead, I mean, the lead is more than one run. If they have they have a one-run lead, I would prefer to have probably Cousins in there or Weaver, something like that. So, thank you, Def. Yeah, I don't trash people, especially when not here to defend themselves. That's kind of weak. So I don't do that. That's not how we. That's not how we roll here. Yeah. The Martian and Jones were. I have a feeling Jones. I think he's got a legitimate shot at taking first base. Jones. Elite defenders in the outfield tend to translate well to first base, just like elite catchers tend to translate well to first base. So defensively, I don't, and first base is an elite premier offensive position. So I could see Jones at first base and Dominguez in the outfield, even though he rates higher than Dominguez for the outfield. Depending on how it goes, I mean, maybe when Stanton moves on, Judge transitions to DH, and then maybe you'll have Jones and Dominguez in the outfield then with Soto. So, you know, it just makes sense that way to me. It makes sense. And somebody beats the Astros would be awesome. Wells, Rizzo, Torres, Volpe, Chisholm, Soto, Judge, Dominguez, and Stanton. Trevino's on the bench. She has catcher. No surprise. You got Birdie. All right. Not bad, Kirshner. Not bad, Kirshner. Brando. Who's Brando? Maya? I don't know. Not sure. I mean, I did. Yeah, Jones or Dominguez. I mean, they're rated very high defensively, so I think they'd be good center fielders. And I do the boy. I'm too. I'm with you too. I do worry about Holmes in the playoffs, especially with a 1-game lead. I worry. Yep, gives me agita. Yep. Yes, indeed. But let me let you go, folks. I got a conference call at 2:00, but I'll be back here tonight. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating a Yankees win. I'll put up the lineup later. Thank you so much for coming on. Hit the likes if you haven't done that yet. Please hit the sub button if you haven't done that yet as well. It's greatly appreciated. And Brandon Maya has elite defensive metrics and speed. Yeah, so does Roderick Arias too. So we have a lot of guys like that, which is good. So we have a pretty deep prospect pool, which is good. Yeah, baby. But no doubt, Finley, no doubt about it. Have a great day, everybody. Peace and love. See y'all tonight.